The Trump endorsement record improved last night to 129.8. And Eric Trump joins us now to talk more about what we saw last night. Good to see you, Eric. Huge wins last night. You had a big one in South Carolina that I know the former president is very happy about. Russell Fry easily beating Tom Rice, who voted to impeach the former president last year. It's a first big win against the impeachment Republicans. How nervous do you think Cheney is right now? I mean, what we saw last night. Talk about that.
Listen, Rob, I think Cheney's going to get wiped out. She deserves to be wiped out. I think she's down by about 30 points. You look at the Russell Fry race last night. I mean, not only did he win, he won by 26, 27 points, right? And this is against a guy who was in Congress for over 10 years, right? He was in for 5 terms, and he gets wiped out by a guy that everybody said had no chance until Donald Trump comes in and endorses him. And again, he wins by 26 points. And we saw that across the board. Anybody would take the record you just had up on the screen. What is it, 126-8? Pretty incredible. And, every single time these candidates are going up by 20, 30, 40 points. I mean, candidates, again, who had no name recognition, no track record, underperformed in terms of fundraising, are coming out and absolutely clobbering people who are either the pro-impeachment or the kind of rhino class of the Republican Party. And that's because of the Trump endorsement, which has proven to be unbelievably powerful.
Right. And the young woman that won as a Republican in that district in Texas that hasn't been won by the GOP in like 150 years. I mean, isn't the writing all over the wall?
It's an amazing story. It is, and it also shows you how unpopular the Democrats are right now. I mean, normally you have a party that can get one thing right, something. I mean, they get the economy right, they get foreign policy right, they get something right. They're good auditors, they're good speakers, they're motivational, they work hard, whatever the hell it is, right? The problem with the Democrats right now is they're so crazy, they're so far left, their foreign policy stinks, their economy stinks. The person in the White House isn't a hard worker. He's not motivational. He doesn't represent this country well. It's been blunder after blunder, and I think what's going to come up in 2022 is going to just absolutely blow their socks off, and I think it's going to have to reset in kind of the political system in this country.
And the only one that didn't win, the only Trump-endorsed candidate who didn't win last night was Katie Arrington in South Carolina. And there was an interesting moment today. The former president posting on Truth Social a congratulations to Nancy Mace. He's saying who should easily be able to defeat her Democrat opponent. Now, Nancy Mace was the one that he was going up against. He was trying to push her out. That does seem to be a bit of an olive branch, I would say. Kind of that's the kind of thing that Republicans say that we need. We need to be able to get behind whoever takes these primaries and all coalesce together if we're going to win come November.
Yeah, there's no question. I think there's no question my father will be, a bit of the quarterback on that winning team. And I think he's assembled a great team of people. And I think he's going to push those people. And I think, a lot of them are following kind of the pro-Trump message, which is putting America first, having the greatest military in the world, having the greatest economy in the world, restoring the strength of America, restoring the respect of America, bringing back family value, dropping crime, supporting law enforcement, lowering taxes. I mean, I could go on and on.
Right.
But you actually look at the Republicans now, it's very much a pro-Trump kind of America first policy. It's really what my father won in 2016 on. It's what he, ran this country so effectively under for a 4-year period of time. And, the rhino class of the Republican Party is really gone. And I think we've seen that. And, the others, he wants them on the team and he wants them to do great. And he wants them to absolutely beat the Democrats come November. And he'll help them in any way humanly possible, at least a lot of them.
And finally, talking about the economy, this move today from the Fed, I think is a really big deal. I think there's no question we are either in a recession or we have one pending here very soon. You saw they raised it 75 points. That was basically hitting the panic button from what we know. There's no good news coming for the Democrat Party in the next 6 months. I see nothing that can save them. Do you?
Rob, I don't. I'm a student of the economy. That's what I do. I build buildings. I understand interest rates as well as anybody. I mean, 75 bips is the highest interest rate hike since 1994, right? I mean, it's a catastrophe. Powell realizes that he has to crash economy in order to stop rampant inflation. I mean, the U.S. always targets 2% inflation rate. And right now we're at, 9? And there's so many categories that are actually even above that. They have to bring it down, and they have to bring it down very, very quickly. Inflation is outpacing wage growth by a significant margin. That is not a good thing. Under my father, you had some of the lowest inflation in the history of the country, and you had massive wage growth. That's a beautiful thing. That's a healthy thing for the economy. Here you actually have the inverse of that. And, you know, it's sad. I can't go to the gas pump without getting to $100 filling up my tank where the actual pump stops, and you have to put back in your credit card. That's how bad it is. Gas prices have doubled and tripled in some cases over what they were, and it's all unnecessary. It's totally unnecessary. I mean, you go to Home Depot, you try and get a 2x4 these days, and it costs you $15. It was $2.99 under Trump, and people realize that. The middle class in this country realizes it. People realize that this guy's been an economic disaster for the United States of America.
And the moderates are
it's one of the reasons
fleeing.
I think we're going to have a great victory. And
and the moderates are fleeing the Democratic Party as fast as they can. Eric Trump, thank you so much for taking the time. Good to see you, sir.